Hello, this is a follow-up to an earlier video on running a simple loop in Excel VBA. However, in this video, we will compose a basic loop macro of rows in a column in Excel using Visual Basic for applications. Most Excel users are aware we can drag down a couple of cells like this in order to generate a pattern of cells down rows in a column, for example from 1 to 10 like this. But instead, we will draft a simple macro to perform the same output. Go to Visual Basic for applications and insert a module. The primary aim for this video is to demonstrate how Excel users can write a simple looping macro based on a single parameter. More specifically, we will run a looping macro to loop through rows in a column in a spreadsheet. We will call this macro loop rows column. Next, we should disable these Excel properties which denote the calculation, event, and screen properties of Excel. Our macro will function more efficiently by disabling these properties whilst we execute on our looping code. Then we want to declare our object variables for this macro. The I object will be declared as a long variable, which can store long numeric values, whilst both RNG and start cell will be declared as range object variables because these objects need to denote cells or multiple cells in VBA. The start cell range object will be declared as the starting or active cell for this macro. On the other hand, RNG will be the selected range of cells. Next is the major learning aspect of this video, the basic looping code to cycle down rows in a column based on a simple criteria. The for next loop is one technique to loop through a range of cells. In this example, the loop will execute based on the I object variables of 1 to 10. Given we need the first cell or start cell to be the first cell to input a value, we want the offset syntax to be 0, 0 for the first loop of I, when I is 1. Given we don't want to shift the cursor down or up, any rows or columns for the first loop. Thus, the first loop of I1 will return the output value of 1. The I object variable can now move to 2 in order for this loop to run again. The cursor will move one row down and input the value of 2. Our loop will continue to loop until the I variable reaches 10. It will then exit the loop and return the cursor back to the initial cell or start cell object variable. The looping is complete. We can now re-enable those 3 Excel properties that were disabled at the start of our macro. Our macro is finished running, Before we test the macro in our spreadsheet, why not review the macro one last time? Generally speaking, it is advisable to add the option explicit syntax at the top of the module. The option explicit will ensure we declare all variables in a specific macro, such as this one. It will reduce the risk of runtime errors whilst the macro is running. Let's run the macro. As we can see, the macro is correctly looping down the rows in a column of cells and returning the individual number outputs. If you want to like this post, send us a comment or subscribe to our channel.